How are you doing today, my beautiful Ifa Mi Ni Ela family? We give honor to Moremi for bringing us all together today. To renew is to reform. This exercise is been given to us all that is living on this planet Earth. What we do in Ifa Ela Ministry is to receive clarity in Ifa Ela way, which is a straight path that connects to a person's purpose. You can also refer to your purpose as your inner self. A person's inner God is self-remembrance, self-recognition, and self-preservation. On that note, we're going to get into the topics that we're going to be teaching one another today. And the teaching is of four nature. The first one will be Ifa divination, Ifa definition, Ifa destination, and the power of tongue. Now, Ifa divination is somewhat very extensive. It's what you will refer to as a supernatural aspect of man. Some people will say it's how you can connect with God if you want to know things that is not easily accessible to man, or if you want to make an inquiry as to which woman to marry, or is the man you want to marry the right one for you, or the woman you want to marry is the right one for you, or when a child is born, they also can make inquiry as to what is the path that that child had brought with them from before they get into this planet Earth. Ifa divination is also, you can connect it to a miracle, magic, even conjurer aspect of life as well. But Ifa divination is man has taken it into. Ifa divination is more of not what everyone have ability to do. It's more of what is handed down from generation to generation. It's very specific to certain families, more like those who are able to connect with inner knowledge of how a man's supposed to propel their life path. However, when you take magic, I think that man has somewhat take magic away from miracle, and then you have the conjurer aspect of it as well. When miracle is not connected with magic, that is when people begin to think miracle is something that is far away from a person. Waking up every day is a miracle. Now, when you think of Ifa divination as well, you will find that every community in the world have their own way of connecting to their divine self. You have Kabbalah, for example. There's a distinct similarity between Kabbalah and Ifa, and you have similarity between Ifa and Kabbalah. It's very clear. The similarity and distinction between Ifa and Kabbalah is very clear. But when it comes to conjuring aspect of it or magic aspect of it, man has taken into another level of thought, which somewhat leave miracle out of it. And leaving miracle out of way of life is where man begin to somewhat summon other energy, or if you like, powers from areas of their own abode. And when this life force energy is brought forth to the planet Earth with force, man is not able to put them back. And he has to take the hands of God to put all this energy back into their own position, to their own space, whereby we will not be tampering with aspects of other lives that really have no reason to be on this planet Earth. Because if they are, it means we don't have a way to relate to them properly. So for me though, Ifa divination means how our ancestors, the first people on this planet Earth that come from Moremi, Ifa divination is the tool, the ability that they are connected with to be able to build a nation. To build a nation, and the nation is the world that we have today. And they did not divide a nation, they just build nations in alignment with one another. Now, Ifa definition, it is, man can try as much as we could to define, to give Ifa a definition that can help us to be rich, wealthy, prosperous, and self-sufficient. All of this God has given us. Even more of it that is meant to last forever. But it is very clear that trying to know God beyond what God has given us to know is like looking for energy that is going to rather cause us trouble. Therefore, I don't think it's very clear that we cannot give definition to who God is or what God is. It's just clear that we've been giving more than enough that we need to honor God 647 of our life forever. Ancestral generations that we are, and the generation that is. Ifa destination. Ifa destination is your heart, is heaven, art, is heaven and earth, and who we all are as one, individually and collectively. The only way you can be in a destination of Ifa is how you connect with Ifa in your art. B-A-R-T, B-H-E-A-R-T, B-E-A-R-T-H. That's Ifa destination. Now, I think I mentioned also that we'll be teaching each other about the power of tongue. Many people know that the power of tongue is a huge skill to have, but nature is letting us know that we need to be able to know what to do with it. Because if we don't know what to do with it, it can cause us more trouble than good. Power of tongue is a skill. However, when we use it as a means of gain, because some people in certain religion, they will say they have the ability to speak in tongue. Now, when you have that ability, people will ordinarily say, oh, this person have power. Right. With power of tongue, it's not something that one should take as a skill to market or to make gain off of. It happens once in a while, mostly when one is in communication with God and you're completely sober in that center of oneness with the universe. I spoke in tongue in 2010. I even have the gift to be able to write the meaning of what I was saying. But I realized after that I call that tongue language that I spoke during that moment of complete connection with the universe. And the universe lets me know not to repeat that again with that such high energy. That's the reason I feel I need to talk about power of tongue today. But for those people who have the skill or ability of power of tongue, it's very important to know that we need to treasure that gift. We need to preserve that gift. It's not something we want to consider that, oh, I have this power, I must use it all the time, because it's own sound voice of God that we don't know what we're particularly saying or what kind of energy that is drawing to our space, atmosphere, and vicinity. So power is something that we need to consider more of a gift, not more of what we can do with it or how we can undermine somebody else's ability with that power that we possess. When we're referring to Ifa definition, Ifa, it's been extended to what we know as incantation. And we know very much that every culture practices their own different type of incantation. You have Hocus Pocus, you have abracadabra. In African sort of connotation, people say voodoo. You know, when it's intentional, we can see where it's not all those things that is actually problematic. Is the intention of the person speaking forth all those languages. So when we take it upon ourselves to speak forth languages that hugs the planet with honor, that would be a beautiful thing. That's us taking responsibility. On that note, I will give honor and celebrate our ancestors. As we all know, this is what we do. This is part of what we do in Ifa Ela Ministry. The ancestors that we're celebrating today are Harriet Tubman, Albert Ogunde, Dr. Eric Clark, and Duro Ladipo. Those are in the music industry and business section of life as well that we're going to be celebrating today, as we celebrate every one of us, because it's our duty and our responsibility to keep the light of the ancestors burning. And these people that I mentioned, I like to think that in every area of their life, they are putting out positive energy. Those that will be celebrating today are Joe, Ayla Collington, Ebenezer Obey, Ella Mai, and Dangote. Intention of a man is the key aspect of the living God inside of that man or inside of that person. Moremi speaks to us all. Moremi speaks to us all. I gave you all everything. You did not reference me. The demand is that all our intentions must begin to gear towards direction that hugs the planet with honor. Because power is very limiting. Personally, I don't relate to power like everybody else does. It's amazing to me that I've been given clarity about what power really is. According to Moremi Ifa Ela, the giver of life, power is limiting only leads to self-destruction in the world of man and woman. If we're able to connect with the planet in the Ifa Mi Ni Ela, that will be better for us. No man is able to carry another man. Earth carry us all. No more monkey they walk, baboon they chop. No need for a person to be jealous. The thing about the energy of jealousy is kind of low type of energy. It doesn't really add to anyone. And the funny thing about jealousy is it does not matter the status of a person, how much money they have, what class they are. When a person is still liable to be jealous in spite of all this material gain, which means jealousy is very problematic in our society. And for a person to be jealous, it really means that person have not really connected to their own lane. Because if you're connected to your own lane, you won't have time to be jealous of anyone. You would rather be busy with the ability to be able to put together your purpose that you're on this planet, to hug the planet with. We have to really find our own lane. Therefore, it is important to begin to renew and reform. That is the only way we can start to find our own lane. Since it is clear money doesn't do it, power doesn't help us to find our own lane, jealousy still continue to breed in our community. If you can't remove that, how do we move forward? We need to renew, to reform, to be able to find our lane, our own lane, individually and collectively. And that lane that we need to find is inside of us. We have to be able to connect to our inside, individually and collectively. That's the line that will propel all of us forward. And that's all you need. You don't need more. I give honor to all things as we give all honor back to Moroni that continue to multiply us in every purpose of our life. Alafia to all. Ora Alafia, particularly to those who lives in characteristics of Ora Alafia every day.